The question for the e-commerce owners here is, what are you doing differently that Amazon is not doing? Hello. This week we will talk about one of our most popular topics, which is how to compete with Amazon. Amazon is a billion-dollar company. There are other billion-dollar companies such as Sears, Home Depot, Wayfair, Jet.com, Walmart that you as an e-commerce owner might be competing with on a daily basis. Now, Joe, when we ask clients about this, we say, are you competing with Amazon? What's their answer usually?
They say that they're not. But the fact of the matter is that over 90% of e-commerce stores out there are in fact competing with Amazon. A lot of these store owners are delusional, right? They think that, they're selling a product that's unique. It's not. They think that they're selling a brand that can't be found elsewhere. That's not true. In fact, their product, there's one just like it, cheaper on Amazon. And now that Amazon has grown to what they are now and we know what the customer tendency is, I might find a product on your site and the first thing I'm going to do is go see if I can find it cheaper on Amazon. So to answer your question, they all think that they're not, but in fact they are.
Correct. So you said something key there because I do this as well. If you find a product on a site that you're not familiar with, you know the brand, you go back and you type it on Amazon. And we see this happening multiple times through our tests that we do with clients. So the question for the e-commerce owners here is, what are you doing differently that Amazon is not doing? And that's really the tough question that nobody wants to answer. So what Joe is saying is that Amazon is your keyword competitor, Amazon is your product competitor, because if you search for any e-commerce product online, you'll see the top results. Most of the time, let's say 95% of the time, Amazon, Sears, Walmart, Jet, Wayfair, House, etc. So the answer becomes, how do you compete with Amazon? The first response to that is, are you selling on Amazon right now? If you're selling on Amazon, are you competing with yourself? I just gave you the example, and a lot of you maybe do this as well. You find the product on a website, from Google search, from Facebook, from social media, and then you go back to Amazon because with Amazon you can get it in 24 hours. Why would I wait? So are you actually killing your own competition? Are you cannibalizing your own sales?
Absolutely.
If you are selling on Amazon, you have to look at your website, you have to look at your platform, you have to look at the offerings that you have on your site. Can you offer free shipping? Are your products or are your items too heavy? What's your margin like? What kind of functionalities can you offer on your site that make you better than Amazon? We deal with a lot of clients who have B2B functionalities, who have custom ordering functionalities, who have really good advanced search and filter, who have pre-checkout upsell, right? So these are the things. The direct answer to the question of how can I compete with Amazon is really twofold. One, through your marketing strategies, and one through the custom functionalities and the platform functionalities that you might have, because at the end of the day, that's what Amazon does. They have a platform that's really fast. They have really good functionalities. They have good pricing. And they care about their customers with Prime. They can send it to you, they can ship it to you and have you receive it a lot faster. So Joe, why are e-commerce owners who sell on Amazon and who also sell on their sites so upset at Amazon?
Well, because the majority of their orders are coming from Amazon, and therefore their margins are going to be a lot smaller.
Amazon takes 30%.
Up to 30%. And then in addition to that, Amazon will essentially, once you start to do very well, could potentially now start to compete with you directly. If you're starting to sell a product extremely well, guess what? Amazon might, if they have the ability, create that same exact product and sell it. We've seen it before. Amazon Basics, Amazon Essentials. So this is what Amazon is doing. They're basically having you be the guinea pig on their platform.
They killed the cell phone accessory industry.
They find products and niches that sell really well, and then they'll go ahead and manufacture their own. And of course, those are going to be at the top and have the buy box and have the most ratings and the most reviews and the most visibility.
So we say if you're getting more than 30% of your revenue from Amazon, you're incredibly vulnerable as an e-commerce store. Again, going back to competing with Amazon, the number one thing you need to do is invest on your website, invest in your visibility, invest in your organic search, invest in the functionalities, invest in taking care of your core customers. And again, we always ask this, what do you do that Amazon does not do? If I come to your site, how do you make my experience better than Amazon? That's one of the questions that's very essential. And we're saying something really, really aggressive here. We're saying, how can you compete with Amazon? It is possible, because remember, Amazon is a big company. They're going to move slowly. You're a smaller company. You can move a lot faster. To compete with Amazon, you have to be big, bad, and bold. And if you cannot be those 3 Bs, you will not be able to compete with Amazon. And we have to do the same thing. We are competing with thousands of agencies. We're competing with thousands of marketing companies. I have to be big, bad, and bold. How do I become big, bad, and bold? I can come to any e-commerce company. I can come to you and I can say, well, I can find $1 million in sales for you within the first 30 days. And within a 6-month execution, I can make you ROI positive for the money that you're invested with me. Or if I can't do that, I'm going to work for the next 6 months free. I need to be big, bad, and bold. So you need to find out what is your big, bad, and bold to be able to compete with Amazon. So Joe, we've discussed a lot of stuff here. There are a lot of elements here, like the platform, functionality, marketing, visibility. How can you have your website try to do better than Amazon in terms of your own niche products? What is the solution here for the average e-commerce owner?
Yeah, so right now you need a strategy. You already know what the issue is. You've already identified the issue. The issue is, I'm selling the majority of my products on Amazon. Amazon's taking 30%. If I can just get the same amount of sales and revenue, I would obviously be generating, have a higher profits. So we already know what the problem is. Now the solution is, I need a strategy. Who can put together a strategy? You're gonna need to find an expert. You're gonna need a marketing expert who knows how to grow your site organically. You're gonna need a PPC expert that knows how to target either on Facebook or Google Shopping or Google Pay-Per-Click to increase your paid traffic. You're not gonna be able to do it yourself as an e-commerce store owner. You're too busy running your business, right? So you're gonna need to rely on experts to help you implement this strategy and move forward if you wanna compete with Amazon.
So you're going to need a strategy. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, and that's exactly how you differentiate yourself from the competitors, including billion-dollar competitors like Amazon. We'll talk to you guys next week.